Okay guys, I'll go through this and explain these areas to you so you can double check and make sure that you're on the right track with what you're doing. So you guys all know that I taught at Ivy Tech for years.
Yes.
When I was at Ivy Tech, one of the biggest problems that students had was this. So there's an entrance exam when you go to Ivy Tech and most colleges, but Ivy Tech used to use the compass. And now they use Accuplacer. So Accuplacer is what you do to get into your classes. So it's kind of like when you guys came in here and you did the SRI, and that's what placed you in your English classes. You also did a writing. Same thing, same idea. The biggest problem that students had, and the reasons that students ended up for sometimes 4 semesters in remediation, was because of this. So it's important that you guys understand the appropriate sentence structure, specifically for compound sentences. So the thing about compound sentences that you need to pay really close attention to or know and recognize is that it needs to be a complete sentence on one side and a complete sentence on the other side. You have 2 complete sentences, 2 simple sentences on both sides, just like yesterday. You have one on one side and one on the other. The hard part is in the middle, where you put those 2 things together. So we're going to look at how you put those 2 things together. And the first part of this is recognizing the verb first and then the subject. And then we'll look at the subject and the verb on the other side. And then we'll look at how those things work together. So our first example is the simplest example and the one that we probably use the most. It's just a comma with a conjunction. Now, a few of you may remember conjunction, junction. What's your function?
We're doing this a bit.
Okay. So, with the comma plus the conjunction, you have to have a complete sentence on both sides. So, Sally went to the grocery store. What's my verb?
Went.
Went. And who or what went? Sally. So, over here. So, she could buy groceries. What's my verb?
Buy.
Buy. It's actually could buy.
Oh, yeah.
Could is a helping verb. And who or what could buy? She. So even though it's a pronoun, it's still the subject of the sentence. Now this is where students mess up. The middle section here, the comma plus the so is how you put those 2 things together.
Like what?
We're going to get to that.
Oh, sorry.
So the comma plus the conjunction, and the comma has to be in front of the conjunction. Now here's where it gets tricky. If you take out this subject, you also have to take out this comma. You have to have a complete sentence on both sides. The conjunctions that we use, we can call the fanboys. It's a mnemonic device that will help you recognize those conjunctions. So for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Because is not a coordinating conjunction. Please stop putting commas in front of the word because. It does not belong there.
Darn.
It's important to have the comma in front of, not behind, these coordinating conjunctions. I can hear somebody. Is it yours, Thomas? Okay. Now I can hear.
Not mine.
Thank you. So you have a complete sentence over here, you have a complete sentence over here, and the 2 things have to be put together in the appropriate way. So there are other ways that we can put compound sentences together, and this one is the most complicated of them. So this uses a semicolon, what we call a conjunctive adverb, and a comma. So Sally went to the grocery store, however, she forgot her money. So the first verb that we come across is went. So we say Sally went. Sally is the subject. She forgot her money. So what's my verb?
Forgot.
Forgot. And my subject? She. So this is where we have to add in a lot of stuff. Semicolon, conjunctive adverb. A conjunctive adverb shows a relationship between the 2 verbs. However, moreover, consequently, those are conjunctive adverbs. You have to have the semicolon in front of it and the comma after it. A semicolon will end the sentence, and the conjunctive adverb is introducing the new piece. So you have to have that comma there. You can live a very full and happy life without ever using this. You will still live, and your life can be great.
There's something in the word that you don't use.
It is not. So the last example is using just a semicolon. Now that may seem like the most simple example, but you have to be wary of a few things. So Sally went to the grocery store is a complete sentence. What's my verb? Went.
Went.
Who? Went.
Sally.
Okay. She bought groceries.
Bought is your verb.
And who?
She.
Okay. When we use this semicolon, they have to have a clear relationship between the first sentence and the second sentence. So the she here refers to who?
Sally.
Sally, good. And where does she buy groceries?
Grocery store.
At the grocery store. So you can't say, Sally went to the grocery store, semicolon, I don't like cats. Those two things don't have a relationship at all. So they don't work together. They have to work together in order to use a semicolon. So I had one colleague in Logansport, and she would not allow any students to ever use a semicolon because semicolons can be messed up very easily. There are only two ways that you use semicolons, and this is one of them. This is the most popular and the most important to get right. So if you use it correctly, you're in good shape, but you have to use it correctly. So take a few minutes and go over your sentences, and we are going to only have a couple of minutes, so you need to go through it really quickly.
Or you got out of the